both players just assessing what they got over there. So when you're flying Empire heroes, particularly your rack, you definitely want to set yourself up with a lane for rack to go into. Kind of want to have your obstacles spread out as much as you can, or if not, leave it as a lane that rack can get around. You want plenty of options for rack to fly through, so that way he can contribute and keep that arc on, that ever so important arc, so that way he can continuously use Vader's ability for removing tokens or dealing damage. And just a quick update, I forgot we're actually playing Assault for this particular one here. So that's the update for this particular scenario here. Now, Nick does have the ship advantage. He does have that spare Black Squadron tie that is able to essentially just hang out in the back and continuously contest objectives. So that is going to be something that Levi has to try to overcome there. That's going to be a way of to basically hurry up the game for Nick if Levi is not able to answer that. And it is salvage. I'm sorry. Apparently, I don't know what matchups I already assigned for this match, so that's my fault. But we'll get this going on here. All right. And there we go. The last crate being placed down here. That one being placed on the far top of your screen there. And we'll get the obstacles placed here for the fire. So coming up soon, we'll have, for future streams coming up here, we'll have the finale of the series to decide who's going to go in the finals between the Horse Awakens and J. Cruz. So that's going to be a big matchup that should be ending later on this week. And then in 2 weeks, not next week, but in 2 weeks, we'll have the final series between the winner of that previous series versus Psychedelic Pina Jamm, and they will be the winner, the winning team for the 312 League. And we're getting a little bit of a close rock formation there, forming on the top left of the screen there. So that's going to be interesting to see how Nick deals with the rest of the placements here, if he ends up giving Rack free reign to have the middle of the board here. All right, the fourth obstacle being placed here. It looks like it's getting a little tight on the top of the board there, but we got 2 more to go. All right, and looks like we got the last of the large rocks being placed down, forming a circular pattern here. Oh, and Levi deciding to put it on the top corner there, trying to get it out of the way. Pretty good move there. All right. And while we wait for the rocks to be placed out here, if you guys haven't tuned in to the 312 podcast, definitely check it out on your favorite podcast provider. You get to hear all the different interviews that 312 has with all the different notable names in. Alrighty, almost set here. All right, there we go. Alrighty, so yeah, going back to 312 podcast. If you haven't listened to the latest episode, the last episode that they had was with Harry Nick. Definitely a really good episode. If you guys haven't, check it out. They had some really good conversations about the state of the game, and again, we they will be having Ali Paknell as a guest coming up very soon to talk about the points changes coming up for XWA. Again, that's going to be in September, and we will start getting some points spoilers done by Greg from Nickel City, who's working with that particular crew. We'll be seeing some of the new point changes that are coming up just from the little bits and pieces that they've told us so far. It's going to be a really, really great balance. So tune in, and yeah, we're going to have some exciting news for the game. All right, there we go. And Nick trying to place that last obstacle as close as possible, trying to make the lanes a little short there for Rack. But with the last obstacle there, they're going to start placing their ships and getting on to round number one. And for those who don't know me, I am JJ, also known as Psych J7 on Discord. I'm part of the Planning Phase Syndicate podcast myself, and glad to be here tonight, taking over on commentary here for 312 League. So I hope you guys have a great night as we enjoy Game 3 for tonight and the fourth game of this series between Psychedelic Pina Jamm and the 312 Krug. All right, and going down the initiatives here, we got the first one being deployed, which is the Deathfire, the TIE bomber on the middle of the screen on the right there, being deployed by Levi, followed by the Black Squadron Ace on the bottom left on the board. Next up, we got Countdown and the TIE Striker. All right, now moving on to the Initiative 5s here. This is where we'll see the deployment here for Tomax, Bryn, and Rack on Levi's side. All right. And looks like we got the placement for both Rack and Tomax Bren heading towards the top right of the board there. Levi's got some options for Rack. He can either choose to come in towards the center if he needs to, or just go around the edge of the ring there if he needs to. All right, and the Knicks Tomax Bren gets deployed on the opposite side there, leaving open it there. And now we go to an initiative 6, and we got Colonel Jendon being deployed here. Looks like he's going for the diagonal deployment off the corner there, giving himself options in case he needs to come in towards the left side of the board or towards the center. Definitely a good spot there for Colonel Jendon. And lastly, here we got the deployment of Soontir Fel being deployed on the top left of the board there, and Darth Vader being deployed on the bottom of the board there, offsetting each other on opposite sides of the board. All right, now both players are set. They're going to start setting their dials and going for round number 1 here shortly. Once again, everybody, thank you so much for joining us tonight here on the 312 podcast. And we appreciate you guys coming and joining us for this third game for tonight. Again, this is the 4th game in the series here between Team Pina, Psychedelic, Jamm, and the 312 crew. Currently, right now, the Pina Jamm leads the series 3-0, effectively giving them the win for this semifinal round. But we got this game 4 between the two teams. The winner of this game does get the title of commissioner of the league for the next season, the 312 league. So definitely some pride being played for here between Nick and Levi. Levi being the current commissioner of the league. So we'll see how this one is going to break down here for you guys shortly.
JJ, did it work? Am I in here?
Yeah, I got you. I hear you.
Excellent.
All right, so this is the captain here of the 312 crew. Go ahead and introduce yourself, buddy.
So I started as captain, but then kind of Nick took over responsibilities. I did get a little chilled at the beginning of the season, but also I picked CIS as my faction, which probably was a mistake to begin with, though. I think it's doing a little bit better, but definitely at the start of the league, it was kind of tilting. I played a couple wild cards, obviously, as we must. Probably more wild cards than I would have preferred, obviously, but it's all good. I think we both agree that not all the factions are created equal right now.
No.
So, like this, for example, these are two probably perfectly viable lists from Empire, which, for what it's worth, I don't think Separatists have anything close to what is happening right now. Mainly because of the quick build cards or the standardized loadout cards, but overall, I mean, it is what it is. Like, there's not parity, probably is what I'm looking for right there. But yeah, we'll see how this one goes. I did play a practice game with Nick. It lasted all of 2 rounds before I was like, okay, over. I did not bring anything like Levi brought though, so maybe that was the problem. He brought some beef in here with Rack, some agility here with Jendon, probably spinning his own shields. This kind of Jendon over here. We'll see if he turns in or turns out, kind of thing. Let's see how it goes.
Yeah, absolutely. So first player goes over to the 312 crew side, over to Nick's side. He's going to be first player for this engagement here. And my co-host here tonight is the captain of the former captain of the 312 crew, I guess acting captain, right?
Sure.
Mr. Epionic, also known as Skeppy on Discord here. He's going to be my co-commentator for tonight here. So to start off the match here, we got a two straight here from Deathfire. Most likely going to get a barrel roll here just to get into the lane. Going to do a barrel roll to the right, giving him a clear lane towards the center. That's exactly where you want to point that Deathfire right there in the center there. Next up here, we should see a four straight coming here from the Black Squadron TIE Fighter here, just doing a barrel roll to get towards the center there. And we move on to the Initiative 5s, or Initiative 4s rather.
Yeah, so countdown is going to be kind of a no man's land for a little bit there on at least initiative wise, but I mean, he can't get one shotted, so there is that. That's a plus from the previous games, what we saw. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And setting himself up with a better lane there, taking the barrel roll there to give him the inside track there between those two rocks. Next up, we'll see Tomax doing a four straight. Also, most likely just going to do a barrel roll. We'll see if he goes out to the outside in the anticipation for Jendon. And yeah, he will take that outside barrel roll coming down to the bottom of the board there.
This is a lot of turn one barrel rolls we've seen.
Yeah. And I think, when you're playing Empire with ships that can reposition, you kind of want to put yourself in a position where you can react to your opponent's lane changes. So being able to adjust your approach using barrel rolls and boost is such a great tool, and you can see that very well in the Empire with so many of their ships being able to do that.
Right. Let me mute my Discord here.
All right, and then looks like we're going to get a one straight reinforce here from Rack over on Levi's side, followed by a one straight by Tomax, just being the flank ship there for Rack. Looks like just keeping back there, expecting to see what Students Here Fell is going to do at the top of the board.
Right, so Levi has some options there for Rack next turn to go either left or right. I think the two hard to the left still, it's tight, but I think it does fit.
Yeah.
Or the one hard.
And zoom. We got a five straight from Students Here Fell. Anxious to get into the mix early on. He's going to do a boost and is setting himself up for a good position for the following round there.
Vader also going fast. We'll see
if
Jinin wants to pursue this fight or wants to save it for a later day.
Yeah, absolutely. And choosing not to use afterburners there, Vader would just take a focus there, and we'll see what Jendon is going to do here. All right, Jendon taking the four straight, still keeping his options open. He does have the ability to still do the turn in to the outside if he wants to engage Vader. Opting to just take a lock onto the rock there, and that will be the end of turn number one here.
Yeah, you think if Nick had second player, he might have actually tried to do the afterburners just to squeeze a shot off there.
Yeah, for sure. I think that getting yourself into a prime position to push is absolutely key with Vader. Vader wants to go in and disrupt the higher initiative bases to keep them occupied and allow for the rest of them to go in and attack it.
Right.
All right. Both players just checking their ranges, and there's no shots here for the first round. And we should be heading back to dials here shortly.
So looking like the Obsidian is a Black Squadron Ace. Black Squadron Ace. The tie is set up to probably grab that objective. Hold on to that one. Is this a salvage? It's a salvage, right?
Yeah, this is salvage here. So yeah, definitely that Black Squadron tie is there to just carry that crate and just keep away from the battlefield, just get those points. And the rest of the list there is out there to probably contest an objective with Countdown. You want to do that since he can be really easy to evade crits. And then you got your hunters with Vader and Suntir on next list. Like those are your ships that you're going to send in to try to take out the opponent's carriers. On Levi's side, though, probably Deathfire is your objective carrier, right?
Right. So that's what I was looking at too. It's probably not good. It's not going to be Jinden. We know that for sure. Maybe on the off chance Tomax could 2 or 3 hard and get that bottom one. Still unlikely overall. I think Tomax wants to at least be a semi-threat for Soontir up there towards the top. I'm concerned where Countdown is going to go because he may force himself into a couple different arcs if he just goes straight down the middle there. So we may see a one forward, one bank off of Countdown. He may still be in a couple arcs, but not in terrible danger. I don't know if picking up the crate is going to be the best call for him. Later on, if it's just a 1v1 for Countdown, it's not too bad, but right there in the middle of the board is not going to be that situation at all.
Yeah, and you got to figure he's got to be worried about the launch from Deathfire down the center, right?
Right, because
where
Deathfire's
he's at
going to
right
move
now.
first too. So
Yeah,
we'll see if he does the. He could do the 4 forward and the 3 bank throw. I don't love it overall, but maybe the 3 forward, three bank. We'll see though. Plenty of
yeah. I
options
think
for Deathfire right now.
yeah, I think the 3-4-3 bank is probably the way you want to launch the bomb. Although if he was trying, if Levi was trying to bring that pressure on and prevent Tomax on the bottom of the board from grabbing an objective, he could opt to go that way as well, and just leaving Countdown to Rack and Darth Vader. So
True.
that is an option for him. All right, so the
You do raise a good
players
point
are
though. With Rack, with Vader on board, he could do 1 damage with Vader and then another damage from an attack. So technically, it's 2 damage per turn. So it's not going to one shot Countdown, but it's going to definitely shorten his life.
yeah,
There.
yeah, absolutely, yeah. And then on top of that, you got a double-minded shot from Tomax that could potentially reach, assuming that Rack doesn't get in the way. If Rack does decide to turn into the center, Tomax is free to do a 4 straight and should be in range if Countdown does get aggressive in the center.
Right.
All right, so that was our road roll to start round number 2 here. Nick getting the first player initiative this turn again. Both players checking for system phase, but not likely to see anything other than possibly Soontir Fell. We'll see if he decides to boost or barrel roll.
I think Soontir needs to keep his options up right now because Rack could be a big threat, and then Tomax coming up right behind it as well too.
Honestly, I think the correct call is to boost early on
Okay.
because you can always do a 4 straight and then barrel out or adjust yourself as you need to, and it kind of forces Rack to pay attention to students here.
Okay.
So we'll see how that goes there. And there we go. 4 straight for Deathfire. Does have the option to launch a bomb, although
Sure.
I think he probably went a little too fast. And opting to just take a focus there, going a little defensive. Okay.
As far as like, I'll worry about that another day, another turn.
All right.
Here's the pickup.
All right.
Nick didn't
And
bring his crates to his own stream. I like it.
Yes.
Let's see. Does Countdown just do 1 forward, 1 bank, or does he go a bit faster? Let's see. Oh, found the crates. There we go. Love to see it.
Yeah, nice little visual aid there for the viewers there. All right, so next up here, we get the initiative 4s here. We get the straight ailerons here, followed by the straight 2 here from Countdown. Is in range to pick that up. Is not an arc from Deathfire either. Looks like a pretty good opportunity there to grab it. And we'll take the crate there, giving Nick 2 crates to start off this round here. And now to the initiative 5s here. We got a 4 straight here from Tomax. Tomax thinking about it, worried about the turn in from Jendon.
I don't think he has range right now. The barrel roll would help a little bit, but it does put you precarious to that rock a bit.
Yeah. He's probably thinking about the potential hard three from Jendon, right? Jendon could potentially do a hard three, grab a lock, and then boost in for the
Oh,
proton. And opting for the barrel roll, okay, like it. It's gonna possibly do the ability.
but he barreled to the rear. I wonder. There we go.
Oh,
Okay,
he's probably
read.
just adjusting the barrel roll there. Yep.
Yep.
Going, looks like as forward as possible. Okay.
Just
Reaching for the lock.
misses. Yeah.
Can still grab that lock onto Deathfire and then
Right.
just take a focus with the ability.
So at least he has a defensive mod for if Jinden does turn in.
All right, now we get to see Levi, what he does with his fives. Starting off with Rack, it looks like he's choosing to turn in there. Does the one bank? It looks like Countdown is probably just in the range 2 distance.
For sure.
And yeah, that looks pretty good. So we'll see. I think what you go for the reinforce here, try to guarantee a crit force.
Exactly. Reinforce, and then you'll spin or force for the Vader and just see how the dice come out.
Yeah. Oh, choosing to go with the target lock. Okay.
I guess he knows that Countdown's he can only do so much damage, and then but Suntir coming in could do a bit more damage as well too, though. So we'll see how that kind of shapes out. Since Rack is plenty of health, but it is a ticking time, not bomb, but it does click down pretty significantly when you get a couple of shots coming in. No reinforce of that too.
Mm-hmm. Now, Levi making the decision here, does he barrel inside to target Countdown, or does he barrel out to answer Suntir? And opts to barrel in, can only fit as back as possible. I think that might put him outside of range, but we'll see.
I think he's got it. Yep.
Oh, he just got it. Nice. All right, so he's got the lock, and we'll use the ability for the focus there.
So let's see if Nick called that Suntir was going to be left on his own up there. So if Suntir does a hard 2, then that could be kind of a misplay by Nick, but let's see.
Yeah, we'll see. Suntir could potentially just grab a crate and just hang out.
Nope, he didn't.
And nope, going for violence. Now, he is also in the arc for Vader, so he's got to consider that as well. Oh my god, if Nick takes the box, oh my gosh.
Don't do it, Nick. Don't do it. Just barrel roll. Just barrel roll.
Oh yeah, we got to check range for Death Troopers. That's right. So we'll let him know.
Opting for barrel roll. Oh, you're right. That's true.
And they're going to check for the bubble, and Suntir is in the Death Troopers range, so he cannot get rid of that stress. So he's going to stay put. He's going to stay modless, and now Levi has a conundrum. Does he go for the Vader trigger on Suntir, or does he still stay focused on Countdown?
See, this is why I didn't like the boost. Didn't like the boost.
Yeah, that's pretty rough there. So we got Darth Vader here coming in on the side here. We'll take the target lock onto Jendon and then spend the force to take a focus action. And now we'll see what Jendon does.
He did do the
and
hard
we get
3.
the hard 3. Now he can just take a lock onto either Vader or Tomax. I would probably say Tomax and do the boost to get out of arc.
That boost may put it at range 1 into Tomax as well.
Tomax, yeah.
It's gonna be close.
Yeah, he's got a choice. I think Tomax is the better call, right? He has less agility. It also
Right.
opens up a lane for Jendon, whereas you kind of put yourself in a corner, facing the end out there, with going to Vader.
Right. He can leave Vader in his dust and make Vader just chase him.
And there we go. He chose to put the lock onto Tomax, and that is per the chassis ability. And he will be taking the boost.
Yep.
And we're going to have a range one shot here from Jendon.
All right. Start of engagement. Vader. On Levi's side, does he go for the front or the back?
Yeah. And he goes for, he goes for Soontir Fell and takes a damage right off the bat there with the Vader trigger.
Let's see if Soontir can punish that. Non-reinforced range one back. Let's see.
Yeah, range one right into the back of Rack, and Rack rolls no dice.
That's not too bad. Apex. Nope, just 3.
And that's 3 shields down for Rack.
Can he do that while stressed? Is that a thing? Oh.
Yeah, he can do the ability for Soontir after he lands a hit.
Nice.
He lands an attack that hits. He's able to boost or barrel roll even while stressed.
It's not a bad Jendon shot.
Yep. And he does have the target lock if he wants
to. Oh, he took the shield off the wrong ship there. I think that's what they're noticing.
Yeah, we'll just let them finish out their defense before anything. And he will spend the lock. And nope, just 2 hits and a crit. And Tomax gets the single squiggle, so we'll be taking a hit and a crit.
Got blinded. Oh, that's okay. He's not worried about this offense anyway right now.
Yeah, the blinded pilot for return range one shot there. Not the time you want that coming up there, but he couldn't natty out, so we'll see what happens here.
Let's see if that focus would have mattered.
All right, so we get the 3 dice shot here going into Jendon, and just a single crit. Jendon rolls 2 evades. He's all fine.
Yep. All right, let's see. Now Levi's I5s, starting with the plasma.
Oh, man. He does have a Soontir, but it looks like he's going to choose to fire the torpedo. And here we go. We'll spend the lock and spends the focus for hit crit. And she could choose to do the ability here for countdown to cancel the crit. And he does. Countdown does take a stress. It just cancels all die results.
He took the shield damage and the card, so he just let it go, and that means he's gonna drop that crate though. I don't know.
Oh yeah, you're right. He chose to take it. Yeah, you're right. Wow, it's a big hit there for Tomax, knocking off the crate from.
So the crit is canceled first. So the hit hits, shield goes down, the crit is canceled. 1 hit face down, but does drop crate? Question mark. Because it was an uncanceled crit result, right? Or no?
Oh no! So plasma torpedoes, you get to cancel the crit first.
Excellent.
Yes, that's right.
So he does keep the crate, not stressed. I think it's so he left it open for this shot here.
All right, and Rack only gets 2 hits, and that's going to be 1 more damage there onto Countdown. Countdown down to 2 health.
So not stressed. So his dial is wide open, but 2 health left, holding onto the crate. 4 points. We'll see if it comes into play.
All right, so we're gonna get a return shot here, going into rack, range two, and we got a full string of natties.
And
And with
Marquise
marksman, that's gonna be the first crit going into rack,
into that juicy hole.
and that's going to be a disabled damage sensor, right? So that means that's going to be nor reinforced for rack, at least for the next turn.
Right.
Not getting that reinforce is dangerous. Now they've starting to get into the hull of rack, so he's got to watch out there.
Looks
All
like
right,
Deathfire
and
just missed.
yeah, just out. And that's the end of the round there. So Nick scoring 2 points there, able to hold on to two crates there. However, taking some serious damage there onto some of the ships there. We got Countdown down to 2 health. We got Tomax Bren out there with 4 health, and also being a blinded pilot. He also is not in a good spot there for Nick to really place him where he can be effective, unless he decides to go over the rock. Although that would be hilarious considering all the other things that have happened today for our next team.
Don't do it,
Um,
Nick. Don't do
don't
it.
do it. Don't do it, Nick. All right, and we're still in a pretty good spot here for Levi. Though he doesn't have a crate yet, but he's in a good spot to start picking off some of these ships out here. So we'll see how he handles this next upcoming round here. You got to be worried about Rack. He's in a spot here where he could be potentially be blocked onto that debris cloud if he's not able to turn fully. So that is a potential risk there for Rack on Levi's side.
I actually don't think that he would mind that much. So I was just doing a count right here. There was 6-6 on damage race. So all the damage going into Rack on Nick's side, but Levi's spreading it out a bit. But what I was getting at is that he could park Rack on that rock and still be probably range one of Soontir, not able to clear that stress, and maybe Vader him down to 1 health at this point. So Nick doesn't want to see that, obviously, but we'll see how it comes into play here because um, having 2 health left on Soontir versus was it 10 health left on Rack? I think Levi's quite fine with that trade overall right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Nick's Darth Vader is not shot yet in this game, so Nick's lucky to be close in this damage race right now because he's being not outmaneuvered, I would say, but I think a little bit of the road variance there, but overall not being able to react moving first. Ironically enough, during our play this earlier today, Nick moved second the whole game. So, I mean, I told him he should have just moved second, or sorry, moved first anyway to make it hard mode. So, we'll see.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, with this list, you definitely want to like move second so you can react better to your opponent's moves. But sometimes you got to prepare for those games where you're just moving first all the time. So
Right.
that's definitely something you always got to consider, especially when you're matching initiatives with your opponent.
So, Deathfire can still just drop a proton bomb, couldn't he?
Yeah, and because he has the nimble bomber chassis ability, he can actually bank it over the rock right behind it to the bottom of the board towards Tomax. So if Tomax ends up bumping, like doing a one bank, he might still be in range of that proton bomb that gets dropped.
Right. And if he drops it towards Tomax, I think it keeps Rack relatively safe unless he went fast with Rack. But uh,
Yeah,
I don't know if Levi's going to try to go straight with Rack and just go super fast. And let's see if who big brains the other one here.
yeah. Now, going into the start of the third round here, and Nick once again gets the initiative role here for first player. So we'll be seeing Nick moving first here with those initiative fives. And starting with the system phase here, taking a look at the bombs drops here.
Tomax can
We're
drop
going
his
to
own
get,
bomb. Yeah.
yeah, we're going to get the ion bomb drop here from Nick's Tomax. He's putting it in the path of Jendon, expecting Jendon to be in the vicinity of that. Although just looking at from here, I don't think Jendon has a 4K available.
That
Might end
that'd
up
be
just doing a
quite
3 heart.
risky. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So we'll see what Jendon does there. Now, on Levi's side, he also has system phase, but he decides not to drop anything with his Tomax. We're going to get
Too
a
hard.
hard three or too hard, yeah, and
So
just takes a focus.
there's a small gap there where it looks like Rack could fit, but let's see if Deathfire will clog that up here. Or sorry, if Countdown's going to clog that up here in a minute. Starting the tie, just going to keep running. Yep, no big deal
Yep.
there.
Now Countdown is not stressed, so he does have ailerons available,
And he has to do it.
and goes for the three bang bump right into the front of Rack.
I think you have to stress focus. It does turn off your ability. That's the gamble right now.
Yeah, exactly. And not to mention that if you're still range one of Rack, you can't take off that stress. So yeah, that's very critical there. But if you don't, you also suffer that automatic damage. So it's going to
Right.
be a decision here coming for Levi.
He is going to stress focus here, which is again maybe Nick's thinking that's a this turn problem, and I'll figure out next turn later.
Yeah. All right. So next up, the initiative five. So we're going to see Nick's Tomex do the one bank. Does run into Jendon. We'll take the bump focus there, and he just barely avoids that obstacle.
Whew.
Like he's like half of a millimeter away from overlapping that obstacle. So close.
And here's where that if he would drop that bomb,
Yeah, exactly. That bomb would have absolutely hit Tomax there.
did get
And
the
he,
friendly bump.
yep, friendly bump does end up taking a damage there. He does have a damage sensor array, so he's not able to do Dauntless.
Oh, he can't Dauntless to fix that one?
Uh,
Or does it need to be action bar?
no, he could Dauntless into it. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
And Nick reminding him, yep, he's taking the stress here to fix that damage sensor array, it looks like.
Or
Oh no, hang on. He went over the debris cloud.
I don't know what happened there. It says it did go over the debris.
Yeah, no, he didn't. So I'm not sure what the stress is coming from. That's interesting. Okay.
He stress focused. I don't know why, but okay.
Yeah, I guess he just wants the mods to get into countdown, most likely. All right, and we're gonna get one straight from Tomax. It does just take a focus, and there we go. Now we get Soontir Fell doing a 4 straight, definitely outside of Death Trooper range here, able to clear both the deplete and the stress, and is in a spot here to either claim or just boost out and or take a mod to avoid the potential damage from wreck.
Yeah, he's still in Vader range right there, so he's got to either reposition or just grabbing the focus or the evade. Okay.
Yeah, grabbing the evade. Wants to play it safe. And here comes Vader.
I want that barrel roll to fit. I just don't know if it does.
Yeah, I think right now Nick is looking at Rack and saying, you know what, it's time to do some damage there. And
so
Vader switches
targets here. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This is now an unreinforced Rack getting a couple of shots back into him. I guess only one right now, but still. Vader's going to push at least an automatic crit through. Nearly guaranteed.
And yeah, there we go. Now that Tomax is, or sorry, that Jendon is still within range of the ion bomb, so we're definitely going to most likely see a reposition here. Probably going to
like the target. Yeah,
yeah, target into countdown most likely. I think that's probably your better shot.
Because there's a chance you could get the free lock, take a boost, and not even need to spend one of your shields for that shot.
Mm-hmm. And Levi signaling he will take the lock onto countdown, and he's got to take the boost. He's got to take that boost. Yeah, he's gonna do the boost to the right. Great job.
I don't like the bank boost only just because it's such a a weird thing for next turn. I would have probably just done the straight boost there, but let's see if it
Yeah,
plays out.
yeah, exactly. I think he's trying to push the bullseye there to maybe get a proton cannon shot, but we'll see. And here comes the ion bomb. It doesn't hit anybody, so he's in a good spot there.
But it did force the reposition. I think Levi might have done it anyway, but still. So Nick only getting one shot this turn, which is unfortunate. But let's see what kind of return damage Levi can do as well.
All right, and Levi taking a look for Vader. And I think right now your priority should be to. Oh man, he goes after Soontir, gets rid of the evade, and I think he's hoping to clear the countdown with Jendon and then hopefully catch Soontir. So we'll see. So we got Vader going to the rear rack, gets 2 crits and spends the force, gets 2 crits and a hit. And this is the part where the whole all those crits come in can be a really, really bad thing for Rack.
He's not gonna have any actions for a while now. Damage engine doesn't care about as much though, but yeah.
Yeah, damage engine and panic pilot. Yep. Triple stress Rack.
He's down to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, down to 4 hull. There's a chance that Vader could just try to pop him next turn. Which trading Rack for countdown is not terrible, but let's see if Levi can do a double tap here with Jendon taking out possibly countdown and then Rack trying to punish Soontir out the back.
Yeah, he needs a big offensive push here to make the trade worth it here. All right, so we're gonna get the shot here from Jendon now.
Does Jendon spin the shield? Let's see.
I think it's worth it at this point, right? You spend the shield to get the extra die.
Right, yeah. If Countdown's ability was on, you would not spin the shield. But I think 4v2, you have to spin that shield.
And he's looking at it. He's considering it.
Yep.
Yeah, I think you got to commit to it. I think you got to spend the shields. You got to do it.
This is where I wish that that little Ty would have just done a 1 hard in, because I mean nobody's facing him anyway. Like, you want to at least contribute to the fight somehow.
And here we go. 4 dies going into countdown. He gets just a single hit. He's going to reroll 3. And just not 2. What you want to see. He gets just 2 hits. So unless a blank out happens here,
countdown needs some paint though. Got 1.
All right, got 1. Yep.
No crit, so he's still living. He's going to take at least 1 more shot here, which maybe go with Tomax to engage first, and then
exactly.
See if you need to save that Rack shot.
Yeah, exactly. So next, Tomax does not have anybody in arc, so we're going to go down to Levi's Tomax. He's got a range 1 shot here right into countdown, and we're going to get a 3-on-2.
Single mods on both sides. That's
3. There we go.
That's a delete.
Yeah, and there we go.
So it took 1 more shot than it needed to be for Nick's or for Levi's side, but I mean the outcome was the same, and that was the only shot that Tomax had anyway. So
and he gets to drop the crate. Levi placing it just in the path of Deathfire, which is exactly where you want him wanted to be. Deathfire can pick that up easily on the following turn there.
So now this is where Soontir has to be a little nervous now that there's a free shot coming into him. Vader probably wishing that was a blinded pilot or something going into the Rack here. Let's see.
And it is a single modded shot, which it is going to hit all 3. He needs some natties here. And he gets 2. And he's down to 1 hole.
Living on 1, yeah.
Oh, man. Ugh. All right. And I believe that is the end of all the shots here for the end of the round here. And Nick able to pull in 1 more point here. Still have that 1 crate on the left side of the board there on the TIE Fighter. The end of round 3, we got 312 Crew 3 and Psychedelic, Pina, and Jamm with 4 points going into round number 4.
So Nick is leading the damage race, or sorry, not the damage race, the objective race, but Levi far ahead on the damage race. So So Rack is at 4. He can't reinforce. So Vader could just do a 1 bank and try to figure it out. Um, but there's a chance that the defender could try to block that and prevent the target lock there. But that's just a road battle there. Which so if you're Soontir, do you try to re-engage here, or do you try to? Surely you can't sleep or K-turn and get back in the fight at this point. But you want
That's the danger. Yeah,
Yeah.
there's a danger with re-engaging, mainly because you still have the threat of Vader. If he decides to keep Rack in range, he could potentially leave him motless and open for a potential counterattack there. You still have Jendon, who can opt to do a hard one. Yes, it's stressful, but it gets him a shot onto Soontir, and that could potentially be the end for there. If you lose in 2 here, you're losing 5 points, and even if you do get racked, you're only making up 2 points of the deficit that you are behind right now. So you gotta pick and choose who you want. Well, I'm definitely expecting to see a system phase boost here from Nick to get him out and around, and possibly re-engage from the edge there, try to get away from the cluster of Levi ships that are there.
So, right. So the advantage that Nick has here right now is that technically there's only one ship facing Soontir, but there's a debris cloud in the middle of that too. So I don't know if you would risk going over that debris cloud for that shot, because it would be. Do you get your free lock if you go over the debris cloud? I feel like because you're stressed, then it would not happen. You do fully execute, so it is that weird conundrum there. But
let's take a look here. So while you fully execute, you perform a target lock action. So because it is an action, the stress would block it. So yeah, he wouldn't be able to get it there.
Right. Old defender is acquire a evade token. Or no, it was a free action as well. Never mind. Yeah. So Tomax may try to keep Soontir honest and drop that ion bomb just as a threat overall. Not that I think Soontir's going to do the one hard barrel roll in anyway, but now's probably the chance that you would drop it anyway. But
yeah.
Now, Tomax, I don't think the 2-bank fits over around Vader to try to clear. So that's another ship that will not be in the fight this turn, I think.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Now, the other thing that we haven't considered is push the limit on Colonel Jendon. It reads, after you fully execute a red maneuver or perform a red action, if you're not strained, you can take a strain to remove a stress token. So that does give him the ability to at least get a mod onto Soontir Fell. So yeah, I mean that's a possibility for Jendon there to push the damage onto Soontir and possibly get that last hit there.
Right. This is, I think, road is going to be critical for this turn, only because you have this triad of I6 is kind of in this middle of the board area here. I think the rest is pretty clear. Like you said, Deathfire is going to go forward, claim that objective. There's a chance that Black Squadron Ace will 2 or 3 hard in there, get a shot. Do you care that much? I still think that Black Squadron Ace could have contributed a little bit to this fight, but it is, we're here now overall, and I don't know where you go with this triple stressed rack. You could he did agile gunner that turn, so he may just do he can't do the 1 tar 2 hard. He's got to do a bank maneuver because his damage all his turns are bad at this point.
Yeah, exactly. If he's looking to remove stress, the one bank would be fine to at least keep that arc turned onto Nick's Vader and still have the opportunity to use Vader. If he's trying to get away, the 3 bank might be dangerous, but it'll get him at least far away from where he's only taking possibly a long range shot from Vader. So we'll see what he does there.
So yeah, Jendon and and Rack are the big question marks on maneuvers here. Oh, and of course Soontir. So I think Vader, this is Nick's Vader. This is the easiest 1 bank of his life right here.
Yeah, for sure. And Levi definitely wants to go first here to try to block that Vader too.
Great.
All right, and Nick gets first player, so that means Vader will be moving first.
Do we see any bomb drops? It would be spicy if Deathfire wanted to drop. I think it would more hurt Rack than Vader at this point, because Nick's Vader is fully healthy.
I still think that we got the ion bomb from Tomax. I think that's definitely coming in for sure.
Agreed.
And no,
System I6. Okay, all right.
Yeah, going straight for Soontir. That makes sense.
So the 2 hard probably coming from Soontir, but let's see. Deathfire 4 straight, like you called it.
Yep. Most likely going to grab that crate. All right. Next up is Black Squadron Ace. Probably going to turn in here. Nope. Decides to go around the flank. I think that's a mistake there.
Yeah, I think the
I
one
think-
hard, 2 hard would have been ideal. Nobody's even looking at you at that point.
Yeah, you're actually giving Deathfire an opportunity now to engage the next turn with a bomb being placed over there.
Right, and because you're carrying that crate, you can't reposition anyway, so it makes you
Yeah.
fairly predictable, or
Yeah,
at least where that coverage of the bomb was going to hit is fairly predictable, I should say.
yeah. Now we're up to initiative 5 now, so we'll see Nick's Tomax take a turn, and he does the 2 bank, yeah, and fixes the blinded pilot.
1 bank, like you called, clears a single stress.
Yep. And next up is the Tomax Bren on Levi's side doing a hard 3.
He may try to lock Vader and just do the things, but and now there's a question now. Do you try to go for Nick's Tomax, or do you think that you can put a couple shots into Nick's Vader, soften him up for later in the game? You're not probably going to kill him this turn, but
So
we've seen weirder today.
yeah, the issue with taking Tomac's ability here is that potential stress you take is going to limit your options for the following turn. So I think you just opt to take a lock and set yourself up.
Oh, the 2 hard. No. Nick, the 1 bank would have been beautiful. So now Rack's going to live 1 more turn. I was going to say that previously, if you would just done the 1 bank, I think you could have even done Soontir and Vader into Tomax, punished, and then figured out later on that, because you're going to be able to chase Rack fairly easily, especially being double stressed and with damage engine. So we'll see how this works out for Nick.
All right, and Soontir Farrell does the hard 2 and does take a focus, coming in aggressively. He is hungry for Rack. He wants to take him out as soon as possible. And we get the turn away from Jendon. That's surprising. He goes with the hard 3 to the left and possibly just looking to take out that TIE fighter at the end over there. Deciding he's going to take a lock, which he can grab on. Yeah, exactly. It's free. And that also gives him a little information. I think the straight boost gets him into range of the TIE.
I don't know if they'll bullseye, but it's still going to be it could be still 4 dice. So we'll see. Yeah, the Jenna disengage, I don't think is the wrong move overall, but you probably would have loved to have some pressure with Jenna onto Nick's I6s right now.
Now, I will say that if he decides to re-engage with Jendon, it looks like he's not going to be able to fit that 4K. That left side of Jendon looks like it will clip the edge of that rock there.
Going for the straight boost. So the 4K, I think, should be open now, right? Since he
the 4K is open. Yeah, there we go. That boost opens it up for him for sure.
See, this is where that, even if the TIE did that 1 hard, it's still trading a shot, but it's not contributing to the fight right now.
And Jendon will choose to use the rack on Vader.
Vader on Vader action. Love to see it.
Yeah.
Choosing not to, like measuring, you don't have to. Yeah.
All right. So Vader range 1, perfect. Two hits and a crit coming in.
Let's see what this crit is. This crit could be it for Rack. It's not, but
disable power regulator. Ooh.
So this is where, like I was saying before, he could have. So Soontir can take him out now, but previously you still could have done 2 good shots into Tomax, and then figured out, like I said, Rack's limping away anyway.
Yeah, rack down to 3 whole here, so we'll see how
Three
this
hole.
one goes.
Yeah, that's how you math it. Good job. Oh no.
Oh, and Apex Predator does not
Oh
help out
no.
Soontir. And he has the force to evade
No.
the shot. Oh my gosh.
I'm sure
Rack
Nick's
still
raging
lives.
in his channel right now.
Oh my gosh. Rack lives. Oh my gosh. So that talk about a heck of a call there. Heads up call there from Levi, leaving the force there from choosing not to Vader, and that ends up saving an extra whole point. That's very critical there for Rack. Now we're gonna
Don't
get
think
a range 3 obstructed shot here from Jendon.
no gen ability. Why not? Just 2
Yep.
versus 5 dice should be okay. He's
And
fine.
plenty of evades. Plenty. All right. So now down to the initiative fives. Nick's Tomax still doesn't have a shot, but we are going to get a range 1 shot here from Tomax going into Vader. 3-on-3.
Does have a
Get
lock.
checks mix. Mm-hmm.
2.
And yeah, 2 crits.
Vader for the force. Easy day. Oh, spin the focus. Okay.
And there we go.
Yeah, he went back and forth a little bit, but I think that's the right call. Spin that 1 focus. You're going to get this range 1 banger back in your face.
Although I think I consider Soontir fell at this point, right? You
I mean,
try
you
to go
could.
downtown. Yeah.
Looks like Levi's going for the more dice special here.
There you go.
Oh, you're right. Just the one.
Here's the chance.
Soontir, keep it together. Woo.
And he does it. Soontir's alive.
And it looks like that's all the shots again. Yeah, so
Yep.
Nick had not being able to get all his ships into the fight as easily as Levi now. So we'll see how that plays out. I think again that TIE fighter could have had 2 shots in 2 turns. And one thing to just highlight now for Vader, was that stress focus a bad call now? Because if Vader just does 1 forward, that's white, isn't it? So
Yeah.
and the 2 forward is going to clear the stress, but then Death Trooper is going to say no, not so fast. So Vader may only rely on the force here to try to get these last couple damage into Rack, which is not how he would like to do it, obviously. Or do you think that Nick's Vader would disengage and try to go after? Surely you don't go after somebody else at this point, but that's why I would have. Looking at the positioning, I think you might have had a better chance doing 2 good shots into Tomax to try to get him off the board, and then leaving Rack to chase Rack, sure, but relatively easy, slowish, stressed, less maneuverable ship at that point.
Yeah, definitely. And I think that if with Vader being stressed there, not being able to remove it, it lowers Vader's functionality. Not being able to push that critical damage, which could be that one direct hit that comes through, that's very very huge. There's also the fact that he could electronic baffle to get rid of 1 stress, and that way he can regain the stress,
Right.
or rather recover the stress, and that would give him an option to potentially get a mod if he needs to. It does put him at risk, but sometimes that's what you need to do to survive. So
Right, and no agile gunner, so I think that kind of tips Levi's hand a little bit, not terribly much though, but the agile would have been showed that he was going to turn out, so he's probably going to just continue with that 1 forward.
yeah,
I think Soontir is blocked for his reposition efforts, unless that straight boost clears, though. I don't love it. I think it is clear, but I don't love it overall.
yeah, and I think that that Levi's Tomax is in a prime position to pressure Soontir. I mean, all you need is a 1 straight, and you do a red focus, and you're gonna have Soontir in your arc. So that's a prime spot there.
Right, and Nick's Tomax again out of position here because The one bank is going to be clear. The two hard probably does a friendly bump, and you don't want that. So Tomax on Tomax, I don't think we see that this turn. Again, Nick's Tomax a little ineffective, a little bit out of position this game, but I mean he was dealing with Jendon at the beginning of the game and just trying to recover from that point.
All right, and while they get set up for the next turn here, just want to remind everybody we got XTC coming up here. That's going to be coming up here in the next few weeks. So hopefully we'll be getting some streams on here with the various podcast streams. So we hope to have another exciting year of XTC, and we hope that you guys join us and watch all these games between all the countries here. And that'll be coming up to you guys here within the next few weeks.
JJ, are you playing XTC?
Oh yeah, I'm part of Team USA Islands with our captain Mike Thompson, known as Maui. So it's going to be great. You are also one of our team members.
What? That's what. We have a Discord, obviously, and I had to remind you that we were rivals this week. Now it doesn't matter, obviously, but I am still probably trying to get that game in against Sherman just to have a rep underneath my belt. But it won't be my list. I'll be flying Resistance for XTC. You will be flying the Rebels that you flew earlier today, right?
Yes. Yeah, that's right. I was actually tempted to fly Resistance tonight, but I was like, no, I gotta bring in the win there. So
you need the almost guaranteed W. It was a tough battle.
Oh, okay. So we interrupt our commentary to
Whoa.
comment with the Deathfire 3 bank drop there of the proton bomb. Very, very spicy. Yeah.
Yeah. Because you may
right
drop
in front
or launch. Yeah.
Yeah. And there we go. We get the focus there from the TIE fighter there after turning in there to try to engage. Tobex here looks like he's reaching to grab a crate there, putting the pressure back onto Levi to get back into the objective race there. And Tomax deciding, you know what, I don't need to shoot anymore. I'm just going to go ahead and just grab objectives.
So will be a trade of one objective up, one objective down for Nick's side, but there's a chance that Jen just deletes that TIE fighter up there too.
Oh, so Levi answers in kind and says, you know what, I can do the same trick too. He's going to go ahead and grab the other crate. And he's going to end up blocking Vader too. If Vader does that one bank, he's not going to be able to grab that lock there. So, yeah.
Did the one forward. And again, like I said, is a white maneuver, so it doesn't clear the stress anyway. I don't love it. I don't hate it, but it's just one of those things where you gotta know the dial, gotta know the position, and I'm sure Vader wishing he could lock Rack there.
Yeah.
Forward, though. Oh no, that could be so. You're gonna probably Vader Soontir again at this point, so then he's gonna be tokenless for the defense. Oh no, but we'll see. So the I-6s have to do 3 damage to Rack to try to get him off before he shoots.
And here comes Jendon. Let's see what Jendon does.
2-4, 3-4, 3 hard. Wow, over the rock.
He goes over the rock. Okay, so we have officially reached our quota of hitting obstacles in every single match for tonight. Perfect. We're perfect. We're 3 for 3 for tonight's games.
Fair and balanced as all things are. So he could still reposition. He could still get his free action here because he did fully execute.
Yeah. Now he did roll a hit, so he ended up losing 2 shields on that maneuver there.
So now you're probably at the point where Jen doesn't spend any more shields, but now it comes into a trade at this point. Do you try to keep Jen safe? Because Vader and soon,
So he uses the ship's ability to perform a boost action,
right?
And now he's going to take a target lock using the chassis ability,
right?
And I think he could still barrel to get a shot onto. Yep, and he's going to take the barrel here.
Oh, I don't know if he's got Soontir. It's gonna. Oh wait, never mind. He definitely does.
Yep, there you go. Ooh, and now, so he's going to trade. He's going to try to get the trade here. He's going to try to take out the token on Soontir, and hopefully get the final damage in. And we get a weapons failure crit on the TIE
Oh,
fighter.
poor Ty.
Yeah. And there we go. We get the trigger here. We get a Vader trigger, and we're going to have
You have to
Soontir.
send it.
Yep. Gets rid of that focus. So we got a tokenless Soontir and a tokenless Vader, although he has Force.
Soontir, right? Because then you can do a range one. Yeah, let's see it. So he does have bullseye. I don't think it matters. Nope, doesn't matter.
No. He does have an Apex Predator roll, so.
Right.
And he was checking for no escape.
I'm going to read no escape. No escape reads while you perform an attack if there are more friendly than other enemy ships arranged out of one, you may reroll one of your blank results.
Mm-hmm. So we get the shot here for Soontir. And Soontir only able to get 2. He does Apex Predator.
He does get the kill. Let's see if it comes into play. Now, Soontir hoping that he gets a little lucky with this offensive roll from Jinden, but we still have Vader to engage. Probably range 1 into Tomax. Or do you go spicy and try to go range 2 into Jinden here? Oh, no. Oh, he could do the reposition out.
Yep. Great. He's going to try to barrel roll and give himself a better range there. So, yeah, there we go.
So it should put you at range 3. Does make your turn next time a little bit problematic. The 2 hard probably looks fine overall. The 1 hard easily does not clip that rock, but you're probably going to eat that ion bomb from Tomax as well there too, though.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, so that was Soontir. Vader is going to go to range 2 into Jinden. Okay, 2v3.
Yeah, Vader trying to take out that last shield.
And only get 1.
Yep, just 1.
Oh,
perfect natties from Jinden. And here we go. This is where Jinden needs to punch that last damage onto Soontir.
Spin that shield though. Let's see.
I think you have to, right? You got to make up
the
points, right? Yeah. He's thinking about it. And he does it. All right, we're going for violence. Going for violence. There we go. He starts off good. He's got a hit crit, and he's going to spend the lock on 2 dice. And gets 1 more. Soontir doesn't get it.
Does not
Soontir
get it.
is gone.
Oh, wait.
That's
blank signature? While defending?
Yeah.
Get unlocked by an attacker. Because he spent the lock. Soontir using all his tricks to stay alive.
Wow. What a clutch move from Soontir, being able to modify that blank into a focus and change it into the evade there.
In device 6,
huge.
Rack is removed. And I think that may be our only shots here. Unless the TIE Fighter has a 1 dice into somebody right now.
Yeah, he might have a 1 dice shot into Jinden, possibly. So we'll see.
If they don't do it, I'm going to white hand and ping it. There we go. They got it.
There you go. So we got a range 2 into the bomber, and that's nothing.
Punished. Nick, don't forget about your TIE Fighter. Though, like I said, I wish he would have gauged 3 turns ago. We're here. So Nick did get the high ground, but I don't love the high ground in this match because Soontir is limping. So the Jinden versus Vader matchup is not terrible right now for Jinden because Vader is stressed. And he's out of afterburner charges. So we know the 1 forward is white, so he can't clear that stress. He's got to do 1 bank, which doesn't help, and then maybe even a 2 forward, which doesn't help either. You have to think that Levi's Tomax is going to be dropping that bomb as well too, to limit the maneuverability of those I6s. So let's see how this plays out. I'm sure Nick would love to move second in this position, But given how this game is going to go, he's probably going to move first.
Yeah, yeah.
And on the bottom of the board, you do have Tomax versus Deathfire as a possible matchup coming up. Not that either one of them is close to death at all, and they're both carrying crates, so we'll
Yeah,
see.
exactly. Now, just a clarification on the defensive dice for Soontir Fell. He did roll 2 evades and 1 eye per the chat log there. So Soontir just needed to convert that third eye into an evade, and then was able to avoid the attack there from Colonel Jendon. So that's the breakdown for that. So we're going on to the next round here. Nick now leading 12-7 at the start of the 6th round here. We got Deathfire on the top there, not being able to launch bombs with this ability, as he needs one more turn to recharge that. So we'll see how that comes up here.
I did like the 3-bank drop, though. That was pretty spicy.
Yeah, that was a fantastic move there.
And now that one is so far away from picking up, though he could try to be...
Oh, is that the counter net? Oh, okay. So he does have Nimble Bomber, and so he's able to curve that counter net and put it right in front of the...
It looks like he put it back down. Maybe he's like, oh, I think it's too far. Though I agree, I think it might have been the play, because then, they're reaching back out for it.
Because I think you couldn't find it.
to actually pick up that crate as well.
Yeah. So that's huge, right? Because that positioning there, unless the TIE Fighter does a hard 1, it's pretty much going to go over that counter net, and it's going to prevent him from grabbing a crate for the next turn.
Deathfire, no chill. Hasn't been targeted at all this game, but just out here living his best life, doing K-turns.
Yeah.
He did do the 1 hard. He did call the counter net.
And opting to take a barrel roll there, setting himself up to grab a crate for the next turn.
So Levi did win first player. Let's see how this goes here.
Yeah. So Tomax does the 3K, ends up taking stress. No tokens here.
See, I would have still loved to see the Levi's Tomax drop right there. Let's see if it would have mattered. Stretching for a lock, just barely out.
I think the biggest thing was to make sure that Jendon didn't accidentally get caught in the ion bomb. So that's probably why he didn't drop it there.
Right.
And we do know that Tomax is out of range of Deathfire, and we'll just take a focus.
I don't know why he did that lock there, because it's definitely not in range there.
And we get a hard 3 bump here from Jendon. Now, the blues on the TIE Defender are not great, so it is going to matter if he ends up taking that stress.
So if Soontir does the 2 hard, he has a nice shot coming into Jendon here. And he did.
And there we go. Yep. Jendon opts not to take the red focus, and Soontir now comes in aggressively to take a shot here on the flank of Colonel Jendon.
I think Nick's thinking about a reposition, but I don't think you do. I think you just live there, and then you reposition after you shoot to get range 3 from the Tomax one. Taking the evade. Wow, okay.
Yeah, he's worried about that Tomax shot for sure.
Well, here's where Vader can punish that Tomax shot too.
Yeah, I think the angled ion bomb probably would have caught Soontir and Vader.
Right. I don't think it would have hit Jendon either. So
yeah.
All right. We go to shooties now. Just out.
And no shot here from Jendon, and now we're gonna see Vader take a shot range 1 into Tomax. He's got double mods. Sets up the roll. Ooh, he's gonna end up with 2 crits, 2 hits. Oh, that's bad. Ooh.
So drops the crate for sure. Let's see what these crits are. That's the first direct, down to 1.
Oh my god, please don't let it be another direct.
Second crit is stunned
pilot. Oh. Ouch.
Big shot from Vader.
Yeah.
Drops the crate. I'm sure they'll get to it in a second.
And range one here from Assumed here, he does not have Apex Predator active here, so it's going to be
Nope.
just blind dice.
Yeah, no rerolls available here. So this is where I wish I would have taken the focus. But let's see if it comes into play. Yeah.
Only one hit here from Soontir. What?
I don't know where that reroll came from. Didn't matter anyway. Reading Apex again though. Is lower than yours, and that's definitely not. So I mean, it didn't make it a thing.
Yeah. Not sure where he got the extra thing there, but yeah.
So I was hoping to see the reposition from Soontir though, maybe even the bank boost out because you don't want to. I think the barrel might put you into Jinden's arc, but he's already engaged too. So
Yeah.
choosing not to do it though. Okay.
All right, and here we go. Here comes the range one shot here from Tomax into Soontir. He's only has the one, and Soontir, no matter what, will evade it.
Yes. So
And I believe that is back to dials here.
so 1 point each. Coming up on 8 minutes. So do you think Soontir tries to go after a shieldless now Jinden? Because Jinden's kind of vulnerable right now.
Yeah, it's tough for Jenden right now. Jenden has no way to really get back into the middle of the fight. You don't have the 4K available to you right now because it's blocked. You could potentially try to do a 3 bank and then boost to hopefully catch Nick's Tomax and hopefully go for that particular shot. But you gotta be worried about Soontir on your tail there. On the opposite side, Vader's in a great spot. Vader can 4K and still get a perfect shot onto Tomax, who's only on 1 health, and you got to be concerned that that Tomax dies this following turn and pretty much seals the game for Nick. You do have the Ion Bomb, which would break Vader's lock, so that is a bonus there for Nick. But it is definitely going to be a tough call here. 4 straight does hop over Soontir and Vader, but it does end up leaving you stressed.
Right. I think you want that defensive token. But I do agree the Ion Bomb is Vader. It'd be cute to do a Talon roll here, but I think I agree the 4K is probably just the safest bet overall. And then even if you don't get the kill, you just do a 2-4 the next turn, and then you pick up that crate.
Yeah.
Because at that point the game is fairly over. Where it probably be less than 5 minutes at that point. So.
And Charlie in the chat does bring up a good point. He can't. Jenden still has pushed the limit available, so he could do the 2K and take a strain for the mod if he wants to. It is risky though because Soontir is still in a prime spot to react, and also has the the sensitive controls that could put him in a better spot to react to that.
Right, and I think maybe Nick didn't do the reposition after the attack there to try to keep the one turn and the 3 turn open, or just keep the dial wide open essentially. I think the 1 turn is what we maybe see coming from Nick's side to try to catch Jinden here. Oh, so the tables have flipped now. So now Jinden has been moving first last turn and this turn. Those started opposite at the beginning of the game. So now Jinden is going to be the one pressure to try to stay alive at this point.
All right, and we are going to get an Ion Bomb drop here from Tomax. And he's going to do the the Nimble Bomber drop to the ship's right towards the bottom. And then we also have Deathfire, who does have the launch active, but I don't think it would reach.
No, I don't think it would reach either. But at this point, I think he can't reposition, right? So he is probably going to hit his own ion or his own counter net at this point, unless he goes. No, I think if even he goes straight next turn, it may clip there. So we'll see.
All right. So he's thinking his options, probably thinking on maybe a target lock versus a focus. Although I think here you got to take a focus, right? You got to have a defensive mod.
Oh, he's gonna drop from the back again, and maybe catch Tomax if he's going a little too fast.
Oh, that's good.
We should see the tie next.
And there we go. Take a focus here on Deathfire. All right, yeah, there we go. We get the hard one here. He checks for the range, and the TIE Fighter gets back its long lost crate down in the bottom of the board there.
He says, "I'll go pick that up later."
All right, and Tomax decides I'm gonna take the Ion. I'm okay with it. I'll take a red focus, and there we go. I think he's hoping that Vader ends up just trying to go for the crate and not turn around.
I don't know if that's the call though. I know the one forward would clear your own ion bomb, but now even if it does break that lock and Vader does the K turn, then you're taking the range one anyway, so it's still 3 dice.
All right, Jendon does a hard 3. Okay. It's gonna go for the target lock here. Probably gonna put it onto Jendon. Now this is where it's gonna get tough because you don't want to barrel roll and put yourself in range 1 of both Tomax and Soontir.
And I don't think Jin has a shot after that reposition too there.
Yeah, that's a prime spot here for Soontir now.
Let's see if Soontir calls the 1 hard or the 3 hard here, or even the 3 bank.
And he does the sloop.
The sloop.
Oh,
I don't understand.
He does the sloop. Oh man, that's bad news there for Tomax.
Maybe he's looking at the time of it, and he thinks that there's not enough time for oh, what he. Okay, so he's banking on Soontir to kill Tomax, and then at that point it's game because even if they trade Tomax's, Nick wins it. But I would have liked to see the aggression of the 3 bank to try to punish Jindon up there.
You got to spend 2 force there, buddy.
What was it? Oh yeah, the claim and the focus, right? I don't know why he focused.
Exactly.
Why did he focus? Fuel leak on Tomax.
Ooh, that's big.
Drops his crate.
All right. Well, Nick dropping one of the crates there. Only has one. Actually, he has 2 crates now with Vader and the Black Squadron Ace there. There's going to be a huge turn here for Nick. If he's able to take out Tomax, he'll seal the win here.
I don't like the guarantee though, because I know Tomax is only on 1 hull, but he does have a focus token versus Nick not having. He's only got Apex Predator for this reroll.
Mm-hmm. And just confirmed there is not enough space for no escape, so he's only going to reroll 1 and only gets 1 hit.
See, I don't like it. Now there's a chance that makes
there we go.
But now Tomax still has a return shot, both unmodded on both sides here. But I don't love trying to trade like that.
This is risky here. All right, here we go. Does Soontir.
Oh, he dodged the arc.
He dodged it. Oh my gosh.
And that's going to be the game. They only have 5 seconds left. Plasma, sure. Why not? Maybe strip this crate. There it is.
Oh, terrible roll. He's going to reroll. And, yep, he gets all 3 onto Deathfire. Deathfire is going to roll.
Deathfire keeps the crate. No big deal.
and that'll be just 2 damage onto Deathfire, and I believe that is the game there. Congratulations to Nick getting the win there for the 312 crew, pushing the series to 3-1. He does retain the commissioner title for next season as well. So, congrats to Nick. He stopped the sweep. He's the sweep stopper, and yeah, congratulations to you guys.
Appreciate it. Yeah, that was our first win because we played you guys in the Swiss too, or the round robin round, and we got stumped on that one too. So
yeah,
out of 9 games played so far, this is our first win. That's it's a bit overdue, I'd say.
Yeah, for sure, absolutely, man. So we got just one more game in the series. I believe that's going to be you and Charlie, right? That's coming
Correct. Yep, that's the last one.
And what day are you guys playing?
We'll be playing Friday. I'll probably just be in Discord. I don't. It's for only street cred at this point, so it's all good.
All right, cool, awesome. So thank you everybody for joining us tonight here on 312 here. We got Nick coming back up here shortly here for commentary, but thank you again for staying with us through these 3 games here for this semifinals here for 312 League. We appreciate you guys coming in. Tune in for the next streams that are coming up here shortly. I believe the next one here is going to be on Sunday for 312 League for 6 and for game 1 starting at 6 p.m. Central time here. And yeah, we hope to see you guys come in for the next show.
Appreciate it, and hey, congrats on you guys advancing to the finals. It's almost like you predicted it a couple weeks ago.
Exactly. I'm just trying to set up the finals pair up here with Jay Cruz. Like I said, you know. All right, guys. Well, we'll hang on here while Nick is cleaning up here. And oh yeah, and like we were mentioning earlier, we got XCC coming up. So keep an eye out for your favorite team representing your country in XCC. Myself and Epionic are on the same team, Team USA Islands. We are excited to come back. We have a very, very strong team. We hope to make it very, very deep into the playoffs. We got some strong players, and yeah, we're excited. Yeah.
Drop out of here then. Sounds good. See ya.
AJ jumped in and then left. I need him to tell me how bad I did. Isn't that what captains are supposed to do?
Not all captains.
Okay, so you guys should be able to hear me. Well, that was a fun game. I'm glad we got to play on stream. I'm still the commissioner, biatches.
Not still. It's going back to you because I was the commissioner. So
yeah, you're the fraudulent.
But now you're the new commissioner. Listen, there was a vote.
That must have been a fun game to do commentary on, kind of, right? Maybe, I don't know.
No, it was a good time. I enjoyed it.
Racked this poor guy, never reinforcing once the whole game. Yeah, that's. No, the first round you reinforced. First round you did.
No, yeah, because you got me with damage sensor array on like
so early
first engagement. So I was like, all right, well there goes that. But Jendin, yeah. So just for the stream, that was my first time playing Jendin, and yeah, definitely needs a little bit of practice so you're not just flying in front of obstacles every time. But other than that, I was pretty happy with everything.
Yeah, it was it was when you said, oh, like hopefully you did too hard. I'm like, I mean I did, but I feel like that was the only choice I had. I either one hard or too hard because they hit a rock otherwise.
Well, I thought you were gonna too hard the other way and like get out of there.
No,
but
I got nothing to lose at this point. Like you're gonna kill me or I'm gonna kill you, I guess. So yeah, but that was that shot into Soontir was clench mode.
Yeah, Soontir in the danger zone for most of that game.
I mean, did I like I did make a mistake with the boost to the 4 straight because I just like Death Troopers like didn't cross my mind as like a factor getting there, and I'm like, oh wait, that's not how Death Troopers works. You get there and he just says no stress removal. So like he took 1 damage from an actual shot, and the rest of the time he was fine. So it's like he was in the danger zone, but only because Vader is just so freaking annoying and so good with Death Troopers. Like he's I gotta get in his face. So the shot was good in Iraq. Like I liked where the positioning was. I should have just 3-straighted instead of 4-straighted though. Like that's hindsight, but whatever.
So Levi, I thought that time when you bumped in the center with Rack, I thought you were going to use your Dauntless to repair the damage sensor array.
Right.
That probably would have made more sense.
I'm like,
Is that the turn? That's probably the turn though where he got Panic Pilot. I don't know if it matters.
Then you got Panic. Yeah, you were not getting any more actions anyway, but still.
Yeah.
well, I mean, he
That's
could
true,
have
that's
baffled,
true.
right, and cleared.
That's
too.
true. We were saying you could have baffled. You still could have agile gunnered. Like there were still choices at the point.
Yeah, Rack was pretty much neutralized pretty quickly. That was the downside of the game for Levi, I think. And Jendon was just we were talking about how hard it is to line up bullseye with Jendon. Like with proton cannons, it's not as easy as you'd think, but he gives you the tools to do it. But when you're flying around obstacles as close as we were, it's really difficult like to have the room.
Yeah, I definitely should have done something different with my obstacles because that whole circle was not great for Jendon or Rack, really.
Yeah.
Well,
Nick
hey,
Vader did most of the heavy lifting that turn, or the whole game really, because we were talking about that you didn't have everyone committed to the fight because your little tie over there. I thought he could have turned in and tried to clog up the middle a little bit too, just try to get some shots, and maybe Rack goes down one more turn if the tie is in the way.
I need if my opponent's not taking crates for a while, it's better off just not risking getting bombed or racked or whatever. Just basically offsetting. Well, I did. I hit myself twice with bombs that I did. But I also every turn that happened, I offset it by taking a crate with somebody else. So like it ended up being like a half mistake, but I still made that mistake. But that is how you not hit rocks. That's how you not serve up your ships to your opponent without them earning the kills. Take notes, my friends.
Levi, there was one turn where I thought you could have dropped the ion bomb and possibly ionized Soontir and Vader as well too. Before he did the K turn.
What turn was that? There was a couple of turns where he could have dropped
an
an ion
right before the
bomb.
K turn.
Second to last turn.
Maybe.
Yep.
I was probably a little scared of ionizing. No, it wouldn't have been Jendon.
I think Jendon.
was on the other
Yeah.
side. Oh yeah.
I don't know. There was
right.
Yeah, I think there was a turn he could have. Yeah, he could have done that, but I think he was just worried about ionizing to like. I don't know. You don't care about ionizing Rack at that point. He's gonna die. So
No, Rack was already dead at that point. It was. He didn't want Jendon to get hit. I agree, but then he got bumped, which kept him away from where the bomb would have been anyway. So it's all good. But yeah, just little tips like that.
yeah, little tips. You're giving tips. The guy that like went like 1-3 and skipped like 2 weeks, giving tips to the guy who went undefeated the entire season.
Mr.
Like
Early GG's himself. That's right. You're right.
I like it. That is spoken like a true 312 crew player. Like, all right, dust things off. All right, guys, watch the master at work. Let me just hit every obstacle. Let me just throw myself at my opponent, not take tokens, not jam.
Easy.
Easy. What are you guys talking about how beat I was?
3 for 3 today.
What's 3 for 3?
I was saying we were 3 for 3 on obstacle overlaps on all the games.
Yep. He's right.
True, that's true. Yeah, although Levi did his intentionally at least, so that I don't take that.
Yeah.
I won't give him. That was intentional. So
I gotta say that was baller though. That was baller.
It was
He got
baller,
around
and then
barreled for that shot.
Soontir's like, I'm gonna clench and pray.
Soontir.
What would have been better is if
So
I was less of an idiot, I would have given Soontir room with Vader to barrel roll out of arc on the right.
Yeah,
That would have not had a shot at all with Jendon, but yeah.
There's only so much that big brain can do.
I know, yeah. It's tough with Death Troopers. Vader couldn't have barrel rolled, couldn't have cleared his stress, so I needed to make sure they both had shots into Rack. Well, thanks for doing commentary, guys. I hope it was fun. Thanks for shouting out the podcast. I heard that, JJ. I appreciate that. And I'm sure you talked about how mean of a coach I am, but they're like my kids, like, it's like, no, don't run to third base, run to first base. Like, It's you hit the ball. It's
So,
fair.
it was
Run to
hilarious
first
'cause-
base.
You should have heard Skeppy's intro. He's like, yeah, so I was team captain, but Nick really took over because I was getting tilted. I'm like, damn.
Yeah,
Started
the
off
3-1-2
nice and
crew has
chill.
some infighting. It's like the RNC, bro. Over here.
Whoa.
And this is why you should vote for Levi in the next commish election, because
Yeah,
he doesn't do
please.
infighting.
I don't want to do this anymore. I'm done. You guys take over. You be commissioner. Yeah, so Skeppy was a good captain until he'd roll like a single defense die and say I'm done, and I'd be like, oh well, I guess I'll take over. So
Yep, easy drop there.
yeah,
There
you're
you
like,
go.
I don't want to play for a couple weeks. Go team, but also
Dub.
fuck y'all. Screw
Dub.
y'all. I ain't playing. Go team, but screw y'all. I'm gone for 2 weeks because I tilt. I'm a tilted little guy. I'm like, all right,
That's
Skeppy,
fair.
bye. That's the spirit.
That's fair. That's fair. Somebody
Yeah.
that takes this.
I'm giving you a hard time, Skep. We love you, buddy. We love you, especially when you decide to stick around and play with us. We
For
like it
sure.
when you
Yeah, I was
play.
gonna look at the player ranks. I don't think many separatist players went towards the top of the board at all. But yeah,
Yeah. Well, I think half the league, if not more, chose them as wild card and never used them. So.
nice.
But thank you everyone
I
for
did,
watching.
and
Levi,
lost.
thanks for the game, man. Appreciate it. I hope
Yeah,
you and your fam
always
are
fun
doing
playing
well.
you, man.
Better. Yeah, man. I mean, I don't think we've ever played against each other before, so we got that out of the way.
We have.
When?
Pretty sure it was
It didn't go
draft
well.
league. Like, yeah, your dice. You
No
were going
way.
through a season when your dice were extra bad. So
I don't remember playing you in draft league. I do remember that because it was not
He
great.
blocked it out because he's tabletop dice.
But
That's what it
here's the
is.
thing. Here's the thing, guys. There's no such thing as bad dice. You just it's there's no such thing, is what we've decided. So that never happened, Levi. I think you're making things up.